Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Smashing Maths Problems with MRT Maths. So as you recall, in the previous episode, I actually shared with everyone how to do this primary 3 guess and check, okay, which is primarily taught to 9-year-olds in Singapore. So today we are going to explore another question type, or rather another approach to solving the same question. And for this time round, we are going to use primary 4 assumption method. Okay, so let me just write it out for everyone. Assumption. So assumption has got to do with assuming. So how do we do that? Let me just proceed and share with everyone. So in this question, we know that there are 40 children. And we know that every boy gets 1 balloon, whereas every girl gets 3. So every time when I'm sharing this in class with my primary 4 pupils in the past, the children will always say that it's very unfair, okay? Especially the boys, they'll be voicing their displeasure, okay, as to why they only get 1 balloon and why the girls actually get 3, okay? So this is just some trivia for everyone to know. Then all in all, the children will be getting 74 balloons altogether. And they will typically ask you for the number of boys and the number of girls. And they will actually stop there, okay? So how does assumption work, okay? In my case, I would usually just assume all the 40 children to be girls, because it's easier for me to explain when I'm teaching this to my primary 4 class. So assume all 40 children are girls. So when that happens, the total number of balloons will it will not be 74. It will be 40 times 3 to give us 120. And we will actually subtract away. We actually use 120, subtract away 74, the actual total. And everyone will actually discover that in doing so, there is an extra 46. Meaning, when we assume all the 40 children to be girls, we are actually adding 46 extra balloons, okay? 46 extra balloons, but these 46 extra balloons are given to who? So that is the big question. So how do we explain this? So if you realize that in the question itself, they reminded us that every boy gets 1 and every girl gets 3. So when we assume all the 40 children to be girls, nothing actually happens to the girls. So the girls are already girls. But for the boys, something magical happens. So at first, the boys get 1 balloon. And when they are assumed to be girls, okay, when they are assumed to be girls, they will get extra balloons. So what do I mean by that? Every girl has 3 balloons. Every boy has 1 balloon. So if we are comparing, in actual fact, 1 girl minus 1 boy, meaning the number of balloons given to the girls minus those of the boys, the girls actually have 2 more balloons than the boys, okay? So when we assume all the 40 children to be girls, we definitely have to give extra balloons to the boys, such that they will have the same number of balloons as the girls. So at this juncture, when I'm teaching this in class, I will actually get the children to pretend. Okay, what do I mean? I will actually get them to pretend that the chairs in the classroom, I will ask them to pretend that the chairs are actually boys, and I'll ask them to pretend to be the person that is distributing the balloons. It could be a teacher, it could be the balloon guy, it doesn't matter. So when they are assuming all the pupils, all the children to be girls, I'll actually get them to pretend, to role play, to walk up to every single chair that is in front of them and I will want them to actually say +2 to the chair. So for every single chair that they see that is pretending there is a boy but it's pretending to a girl, I'll get them to tap the chair and say +2, +2, +2. And I will get them to show that this +2, these 2 extra balloons, it must come from somewhere. And if you are following what I'm actually demonstrating or explaining to you right now as you are watching this video, you realize that the boys, all the boys, must have come from the extra 46 balloons that is meant to be given to them, because every boy will receive 2 extra balloons if they are assumed to be a girl. So all I need to do is to take the difference in the assumed total of 120 minus the actual total. So I need to take 46 divided by 2, and therefore 23 will be the boys. Okay, so in this case we are finding part B first. It doesn't actually matter. So to get the part A answer, the total number of girls, right, it is simply just taking 40 minus 23 to give us 17. Now, a word of caution for everyone here. If you are using assumption method, you still need to work out the solution to be very, very certain that there are really 17 girls and there are 23 boys. So you will need to do your checking. Okay, so do not just submit the answer 17 and 23. So we have to check. And what do I mean by checking? I will actually use the 17 girls, and since every girl gets 3 balloons, right, 17 times 3, I work it out, I do my working, it gets me 51. What about the boys? The boys are only given 1 balloon, so there are 23 boys. So 23 boys, they're only given 1 balloon. The total balloons from the boys will just be 23, and lo and behold, if I add 51 from the girls and 23 from the boys, I will arrive at 74, which is the total balloons that is given to me by the question. So when do we actually use assumption? We use assumption when they actually give us a total number of people. They tell us the terms and conditions that the question is asking for. For example, that the boy gets 1 balloon, the girl gets 3 balloons, and they must give us a total number of balloons. We can use assumption in place of guess and check that I have taught you in the previous video. Because assumption, you can actually get the answer in just a few steps, and it takes very little time as compared to guess and check. So it is a far superior method given the time constraints of a primary 4 examination, a primary 4 maths examination. Okay, so once again, thank you everyone, thank you boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, for watching these videos. We have come to the end of this episode. Thank you for watching Smashing Maths Problems with MRT Maths. This is Teacher Ray signing off. See you again in the next episode. Bye bye.